get into it. All right. So let's get a little warm up going before we get into this dumbbell, calling it dumbbell supersets routine today. So it's going to be heavily strength based, using a pair of dumbbells. Of course, if you don't have any dumbbells, have your water bottles, soup cans, heavy weighted backpack, any of that stuff will work. And so with the supersets, we're going to spend the first 20 to 25 minutes of class doing 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off of primary strength movements that are superset together. So we've got a legs and a back set. We've got a back of the legs and chest and tricep set. We've got a glute and arm set. And then we finish with a core set. And then we'll finish the whole class with 5 minutes of a cardio finisher. So we're not going to forget about the cardio, but we are primarily focusing on strength today, because I know we haven't gotten enough of that over the last year of quarantine and whatnot. So with that said, let's go ahead and get going with some jumping jacks, get that blood flowing, get the body temperature up. We're going now. You can step out if you want to too, completely up to you. Just a couple more seconds here. We'll spend about 30 seconds in each position. And 3, 2, 1. All right, let's switch to a hip cradle. So ankle, knee and ankle pull, sometimes what I call it, but other people call it a hip cradle. Get near something if you need to, if your balance isn't feeling too great today. And then you can just do one hand grabbing the ankle. We're just gonna alternate here until we get about 5 on each side. And then if you can, catch your balance and then try to do it without that aid. What that'll do is that'll allow you to drive through the floor with this stance leg and really get a good glute squeeze when you go to pull the other leg up for that hip cradle. All right, let's do one more on each side. Perfect. Now we'll do the opposite quad pulls. So I want you to grab the ankle, pull it behind you as you push up with the other arm. Do your best to not let your knee kind of flare out to the side like that. I want you to try to pin it towards the midline of your body. Keep your core tight, especially as you go to reach. I think the tendency is to try to get as hyperextended as you can through your back. I want you to try to avoid that and keep those abs nice and tight when you go to lengthen yourself towards the ceiling. Perfect. Next thing we're going to do a little lateral lunge with an overhead Y raise. And so make sure that toe is pointed forwards, step it out, soften your knee up, push those hips back, stick that butt back at the same time as you're raising overhead, and then press back to the start. Stay on the same side. We're going to do 5 on one side, 5 on the other. If you can hang out in that bottom position for a second, even better. If not though, just pop down and pop back up. All right, we got one more on this side. Helping to get those legs ready and that back. Now we're switching to the other side. Step it out, sink that hip back into that lateral lunge, and then raise those arms overhead, thumbs towards the ceiling. So we're getting a little bit of groin stretch too on this straight leg. Once you've got 5 there, shake it all out. And then we're going to move to some grass grabbers for those hamstrings. Stick that foot out, pull that toe towards you. Keep this front knee straight. You can bend the back one and try to sweep the floor. Alternate legs. Feel that stretch get progressively stronger as you get down to the floor and try to grab that grass, hence the name of this exercise. So really just feeling those hamstrings lengthen as we hinge those hips back. We're gonna keep going here. Hopefully we get about 10 on each side. I'm not counting, but we're just gonna hang for about 30 seconds. We're getting ready to go straight into that quad and back superset. And then hamstring and chest and tris will be right after that. So just making sure we got all those muscles happy and ready to really get after it. All right, go ahead, stop that, shake it out one more time. Let's do some overlapping arm circles, flings, whatever you want to call these. I just want you to focus on coming back, squeezing the shoulder blades, bringing them forward, alternate which arm comes in front. We'll do these instead of shoulder circles today. Just something a little different. That'll still warm up the shoulders, warm up the back, warm up the chest. All right, y'all, a couple more. Focus on that squeeze when you come out, and then hugging yourself on the way in. And then let's just do a couple big, wide circles, reaching for the wall behind you. Don't rotate. Try to get as much range through that shoulder as you can. And you're going to kind of rotate thumb up and then in behind you. So up towards the ceiling, then I'm going to rotate in and come around. Let's switch it. Now pinky goes back, come around, and then finish with that thumb on top. Pinky back, rotate, open up, and then come back. Alternate arms, almost like we're doing the Michael Phelps freestyle here. Let's do one more on each side. Perfect. Shake it out, grab a little bit of water. Make sure you got a towel ready. We're gonna be working up quite the sweat today. So for this first set, we're gonna be doing a front squat. So your dumbbells are gonna be here. Keep that chest up. Feet are hip width apart, toes are slightly pointed outwards. We're gonna break at the hips and knees at the same time. Do your best to get those thighs parallel to the ground, or go as deep as you can. Make sure you're pushing through the middle of your foot, closer to your heel to get yourself back up. Do your best not to let those heels raise up off the floor. That's our first exercise. We're gonna superset that. So we'll do 30 seconds of that. We'll rest 30 seconds, and then we'll go over a bent over row. We're gonna bounce back and forth on each grouping. There are 2 exercises per group. We're gonna go 30 on, 30 off, times 3 of each of those 2 exercises before we move on to the next. So with that said, let's go ahead, get those dumbbells in position for that front squat, and we're going in 3, 2, 1, go. Break at the hips and knees, inhale on the way down. Drive through the middle of your foot, exhale as you come up. Squeeze those glutes. Pace yourself here. Slow and controlled is the name of the game. We're here for a full 30 seconds. So no need to speed through it. 10 to go. Make sure those dumbbells are up off the shoulders. 3, 2, 1, time. All right, bring them down. Now we're moving to our bent over row. So remember the keys with that bent over row. We got our feet hip width apart. Knees are slightly bent. Hinge at your hips. Keep your chest up, right? I can hinge and not keep my chest up and look like a turtle. I want you nice flat back. Elbows close to the body. Pull up, squeeze, come back down. All right, go ahead and grab them. We got 3, 2, 1, go. Hinge back. Elbows stay close to the body. Bring them up. Squeeze them together for a second. And then slowly resist them back to the floor. Focus on your breathing. Exhale through the hardest part, which is the pull for us here. We got 5 seconds to go. Give me a couple more reps. 3, 2, 1, time. All right, that was one set. And crank the volume up here on the timer so you can hear it. That was one set. We got 2 more sets or rounds with these 2 particular exercises. So we're coming back around to that front squat again. Do your best to keep those elbows up off the body. If you get tired, you can rest them for a second. Try to pick it back up though. 3, 2, 1. Round 2 is going now. Got our front squat first. Then we'll move to that bent over row again. Make sure those knees are tracking the toes. What I mean by that is they're kind of tracking a little bit outwards as you descend instead of going knock knee. 3, 2, 1, time. Good job. All right, bring it down, shake those legs out. Moving on to the second round of our bent over row. Going in just about 10 seconds. Let's go ahead and grab them. Get ready. Hinge those hips back. Chest is up. And we're rowing. Remember, focus on really getting as much range of motion as possible, so don't short these reps. Make sure those elbows are completely straight at the bottom before you initiate your next pull. 3, 2, 1, time. All right, weights down. Shake it out, grab a little bit of water. 2 rounds down, 1 more to go here. And then we'll switch to our group number 2, where we'll kind of do the exact opposite moves of what we're doing on this first group. All right, we're going in 3, 2, 1 with our squats. Going now. Stay with me, y'all. Last round for this grouping. Make sure you're really grabbing the ground with those feet. Drive that big toe into the floor. 5 seconds to go. Give me a couple more reps. 3, 2, 1, time. Whew, nicely done. That was the last set of those squats. And we're moving to our bent over row. Final 30 seconds here, and then we'll switch to our next grouping. Y'all are doing great. Stay with me. 10 seconds before we get going. All right, last set here. 3, 2, 1, and we're rowing. Remember, keep those elbows close to your body. Focus on what those shoulder blades are doing. Squeeze them together at the top. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. Good job. All right, towel off, grab some water. 30-second quick rest. Then we're moving to our next 2 exercises. We've got a RDL, so that's a Romanian deadlift. Feet are hip width apart, toes are slightly outwards, mostly pointed forwards though. And then we soften up the knees and drive the hips back. 3, 2, 1. Soft knees, hips back. Go down as far as you can until you feel your back start rounding. That's your stopping point. And then use those hamstrings and glutes to pull you back up, squeeze those glutes at the top. Go nice and slow on the way down, faster on the way up. 3, 2, 1, time. All right, now we're on the floor for the next one. So work your way down. We're going to do a chest press or floor press to a cross body tricep extension. So this is what it's going to look like. We're going here, and then one arm comes across and touches the other shoulder, and we just alternate. All right, we got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So give me a press. Elbows stay about 60 degrees away from the body. Then bring the end of that dumbbell to the opposite shoulder. So you got, that's the tricep extension part. And then give me that chest press in between. So we're going to end up doing twice as many chest presses as we do tricep extensions. 3, 2, 1, time. Nicely done. All right, slowly work your way back up to standing. We got 20 more seconds. We're going to roll through that 2 more times. So we got our Romanian deadlift or RDL first. This time I want to challenge you to incorporate some eccentric loading, which is basically just going slower on the way down. So let's get in position, soften those knees up, and we're going now. Drive your hips back. Do it real deliberately on a 4-second count. 2-second pause in the bottom, and then come up. So we're changing it up just a little bit. Hips back, super, super slow. When you get to that terminal stop point, stop there for 2 seconds, and then come back up. So we're only going to get like 4 or 5 of these in. That's okay though, because the 4 or 5 are going to beat doing 10 fast. All right, time. Work your way back down to the floor. No rush. We got 30 seconds in between moves. We want to make sure we gave us plenty of time to transition. So 15 seconds. We're moving back to that floor press to lying tricep extension. Remember, drive those shoulders into the floor and give me your presses from there. And we're going now. So chest press or floor press, then bring that dumbbell to the opposite shoulder. Give me that press in between. Focus on your breathing. Exhale every time you press up, whether that's on the chest press or the tricep extension. 3, 2, 1, time. Nicely done. All right, 2 down. Work your way back up. We got 1 more here. I don't know about y'all, but I am nice and warm already. We're not even 2 groups through. All right, last round of RDLs. Going now, 4 seconds down, 2-second pause at the bottom, fast on the way up. Focus on keeping that straight line from your tailbone all the way through the top of your head. And we do that by picking a spot on the floor to look at about 3 to 5 feet in front of us. 3, 2, 1, time. Nice work. All right, y'all, back down. Last time doing these chest press to alternating tricep extension. So we're here. Do your best to not let the elbows flare out too wide. We want to kind of have them at an angle, like I said, slightly away from the body, about 60 degrees. 3, 2, 1, go. Give me that press. Pick an arm to start with. And give me that tricep extension. Cross body. Almost there. Couple more seconds. 3, 2, 1, time. Good job, y'all. All right, work your way back up. We're moving to our glutes and arms set. And actually, we're going to end up back on the floor for the first one. So we're going to start with the glutes with a weighted glute bridge. So with that one, you're basically going to be laying down like we just were. And you're going to have your dumbbells kind of just balanced on your hips. So we just want to weight it down a little bit. Drive through those heels. Squeeze your glutes at the top. Pause for a second or two, and then come back up. You may have to orient your dumbbells a certain way so they're not digging into your hips. Just kind of play around with the positioning. That's our first move. And then our second move is going to be standing. So we're going to work our way up, and then we're going to do a dumbbell curl to overhead press. So feet are hip width apart, squeeze your glutes, curl it up, press over your head. Now notice when I finish this curl, my palms are facing me. So what I want to do is I actually want to rotate as I press over my head so that my palms face away from me. So we kind of got that curl, palms up, then press and rotate for that overhead press. All right, y'all, so we're starting with our glute bridge. We're going in 10 seconds. Go ahead and get in position. Dumbbells are at our hips. 3, 2, 1, go. Drive through those heels. Squeeze. Hold for about 2 seconds at the top. And then slowly bring it back down. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Three, 2, 1, time. All right. Slowly work your way back up to standing. Now we're moving to that curl to overhead press. Make sure you're giving yourself that solid base. Squeeze your glutes. Keep them squeezed the entire time. I know we just toasted them with those glute bridges, but that'll help give you that stability that you need to press over your head. All right, 3, 2, 1. Glutes are squeezed, palms up, curl. Rotate those palms around as you press over your head. Come back to the start, then back down to that original starting position. Ten seconds to go here. 3, 2, 1, time. Nice work. Round 1 is done. Now we're coming around to round 2. Starting with our weighted glute bridge. We got about 15 seconds before we start. Focus on really grabbing the ground with your feet. Make sure you're predominantly pushing through the heel though. It's going to help you get that glute activation. And oh, we're going now. I was about to do a press again. So remember, 2-second hold at the top. Really forcing those glutes to hold those hips up high. Keep a core brace going here. 3, 2, 1, time. All right, that's one half of round 2. Now we're back for the second time of doing these curl to overhead press. Remember, find a pace that works for you to allow you to work that entire 30 seconds. Don't feel like you have to get a certain amount of reps, but I do want you to challenge yourself. 3, 2, 1, go. Squeeze those glutes, curl it up. Keep those abs tight as you press overhead. I don't want to see any really hyperextended backs because you're not squeezing your glutes. That glute squeeze is super important to stabilize our base as we press over our head. Couple more seconds. 3, 2, 1, time. Nicely done. All right, that was round 2 of 3. We got one more to go here. So last time doing these two with the weighted glute bridge and that dumbbell curl to overhead press. All right, we're going in 3, 2, 1, go. And if you're wondering about the spacing between your feet and your butt, basically you can do a little test, bridge up, and you want to see kind of a 90-degree bend at the knees in this top position. So I could stand to come out a little more, but maybe you could stand to adjust your feet a little bit. 3, 2, 1, time. All right, work it back up. We got our last round of dumbbell curl to overhead press. And then that'll be it for this group 2. Or no, group 3, excuse me. All right, 5 seconds. Let's go ahead and get in position. 3, 2, 1. Squeeze those glutes. Keep your core tight. Curl. Then press overhead. I want to see straight elbows at the top of that press. Remember, your glutes can be squeezed and you can still have a soft bend in the knee. Don't lock your knees out. I don't want you passing out on me. 3, 2, 1, because that wouldn't be any good. All right, shake everything out. Grab a little bit of water, towel off if you got one. And you're sweating like a pig like I am. And then we're moving to our final group, our final strength grouping, which is going to be all core based. So for this 4th group, we're going to start with a plank variation. You only need 1 dumbbell for this. So go ahead and scoot one off to the side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start in a high plank. Feet are hip width apart, hands are shoulder width apart, wrists are directly stacked underneath the shoulders. I want you to squeeze your glutes, keep your core tight, and we are going to pull this from across the body, underneath the arm, across. You can also decrease the lever length by going from the knees and doing the same thing. Our goal here is to resist any rotation with the body. So when you go to grab that thing, try to stay as stable as you can by really contracting your abs like someone's going to punch you and keeping your glutes squeezed. 30 seconds there. And then we're going to switch to another back exercise, which is called a wall angel. If you can get close to a wall, great. If not, I'll give you a modified exercise if you can't get next to a wall. But for this wall angel, you're here, elbows are at 90 degrees. Keep your belly tight, press that low back into the wall, and then we're gonna raise up as high as I can. I can go further, but then my low back peels up off the floor, or off the wall, excuse me. So I only want you to go as far as you can keep that low back, which for me is right here, and then I'm back down. So that's the wall angel. If you don't have a wall handy, I want you to take your dumbbells and you're going to do lat pulls from this bent over position. Elbow stays straight, and we just pull behind us, almost like we're downhill skiing. Let me get rid of this little alert, and then we'll get going. All right, so first one, we've got our plank pass under, that's what they're called. We're going in 5 seconds. Get in position, squeeze those glutes, keep your core tight, and we're going. pull it across to the other side of your body. Try to keep as still as you can when you go to pull this thing across from you. Your body's going to want to help and really use body English to get it across. Do your best to avoid that. We got 10 seconds to go here. Remember, you can always go from the knees. 3, 2, 1, time. All right, now pop up. Grab that wall if you've got one close to you. Feet are about 6 inches away. I love this one because it's a great corrective exercise that you can do just about anywhere. Anywhere where you can find about 5 feet of wall space. So first things first, contract those abs, push the low back into the floor. Elbows are up at 90 degrees. And we're going, press as high as you can. You'll know you're done when that low back comes off the floor. And I know what many people ask is, well, if my low back comes up off here, do I still keep going? I want you to stop whenever that low back peels up off the wall. Over time of doing this, you'll be able to get higher and higher. And time. Great exercise to improve posture, really get those low trap muscles working that really don't get a whole lot of love. And in general, it just helps us really undo all the effects of sitting that so many of us, myself included, are doing so much of these days. All right, y'all. Going back to that plank pass under. 3, 2, 1, begin. Remember to breathe here. I like to exhale through the hardest part, which is going to be that pull under or pass under as you bring that kettlebell or that dumbbell from one side to the next. 3, 2, 1, time. All right, now we're back on the wall. We got our wall angels once again. So feet hip width apart, about 6 inches from the wall. Remember, our goal here, our primary concern is keeping the small of our back pressed up against the wall. All right, 3, 2, 1, begin. Make sure that head is flat against the wall as well. Remember to breathe. You can still keep your abs braced and breathe. A little bit easier said than done, I know. I got faith in you though. All right, y'all, stay with it. I know it burns. We got 3, 2, 1, time. Woo! Shake those arms out. That exercise is no joke for how easy it looks. Now we're coming around, final round here with this 4th grouping of core. So get that dumbbell ready. We're doing one more set of these pass unders. Give me that solid stability with the core. And we're going now. Keep that glute squeezed. Try not to sway too much with your body. Remember, you can always decrease this intensity a little bit by going from the knees. Keep the glute squeeze still, or you could decrease the amount of weight you're pulling across. Either or. And time. Good job, y'all. That was the last round. Those plank pass unders. We got one more round of wall angels. Those pass unders are definitely one of my favorite core exercises because it really works the primary purpose of our core, which is to stabilize the spine as the arms and legs are moving. So I know in that example, the legs aren't moving, but the arms certainly are. And if you can keep still, you're really working the core's primary function. All right, last round of these wall angels going now. Use that same core brace tightness that you used in the previous exercise to help keep that low back pinned to the wall. And I forgot myself to pin my head to it too. And time. Woo! Nicely done. All right, that's it for the strength sets. Now we just got a quick cardio finisher to finish up the class, finish up the workout. We got 4 different moves that we're gonna cycle 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off. We're gonna cycle through those 4 moves twice. No rest in between aside from the 15 seconds that's already built in. Exercise 1, dumbbell swings. I think we do these just about every week. One of my favorite hybrid moves to put strength and cardio together. It's basically that hip hinge that we did in the beginning, that RDL. Wait until the dumbbell or kettlebell gets really close to you, then dip your hips back. Okay, don't drop your butt. Try not to squat with it. Thrust through your heels, squeeze your glutes, end up in this plank position where I've got a tight belly, and then we're going there for 30 seconds. Exercise 2, our mountain climbers. So we're here. Another core exercise, cardio hybrid. Remember, you could step and tap to modify just a bit. Third exercise is everyone's favorite, a burpee. You can opt to do no push-up. The goal here is just to keep moving quickly to get that heart rate up. If you want to do the push-up, by all means, knock yourself out. You don't have to, though. Fourth and final exercise is just a phantom jump rope, unless you have one around. I don't have mine around with me today, but I'm just gonna act like I've got one. So it's just popping up on the balls of the feet. Try not to let those heels touch, but momentarily. And those are our 4 exercises we're gonna cycle through to finish off class. All right, we're going with the dumbbell swing. 3, 2, 1, begin. So remember, keep that good plank form at the top here. I'm not raising with my arms at all. My arms are merely just hooks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. All right, dumbbell down, mountain climber time. Going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. 30 seconds of mountain climbers. Keep your core tight. Remember, you can slow it down. Give me little taps. That's still working those abdominals. Still challenging the shoulders. 10 more seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, time. All right, working our way back up. Everybody's favorite burpee. You can do a half burpee, no push-up. You can add the push-up in. Completely up to you. 3, 2, 1, go. So step out or jump out, step back in or jump back in. Then give me that kind of calf raise or a hop. Totally up to you how much spice you want to add here. Three, 2, 1, time. All right, last one, jump rope. I know you're breathing heavy. Take those big, deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And we're jumping rope. whether it's for real or imaginary, doesn't matter. We're still getting a good cardio workout in regardless. Ten seconds to go here. 3, 2, 1, time. All right, that was one round. One more and we're done. Hang with me. I know we're going a little over. I did get started a bit late though. Can't finish without doing this whole set. 3, 2, 1. Dumbbell swings again. Give me 2 minutes of work, and that'll be it. Ten seconds to go. Stay with it. Keep firing those glutes. 3, 2, 1, time. All right. Last round of mountain climbers. Remember, slow it down if you need to. 3, 2, 1, go. So find a good pace that works for you. Try to stick with it. Got 15 seconds to go. Halfway done here. Finish strong. We're almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. Whew. All right, work your way back up. We got burpees and jump rope, and then we're done. Last round of burpees here. Going now. Remember, when you step or kick out, keep that core tight. Try your best not to let your hips sag. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. Whew. All right, this is it. Last 30 seconds of jump rope, and we are done. 3, 2, 1, go. I know you're still breathing heavy, but this is a good one to try to focus on slowing your breathing rate down. Kind of a good active rest type exercise. 3, 2, 1, time. Well done. All right, y'all, let's spend the last 2 minutes or so just doing a couple stretches. So I want you to walk it out, slow your breathing down first. I know if it's anything like mine, I'm still breathing really heavy. So just trying our best to slow it down. In through the nose, out through the mouth. On this next one, I want you to reach up, breathe in, breathe out, forward fold, reach for those toes. Get a little hamstring stretch in here. And then come on up. Let's do a figure 4 glute stretch. Ankle over, crosses over on opposite thigh. Sit those hips back. Feel that stretch through that glute of that bent leg. Apply a little more, you can also apply a little bit more pressure on the knee to get a little deeper stretch. And then come on out of that. Same thing on the other leg. Remember, you can test your balance if you want and not cheat like I'm doing. You bring your hands to heart. There's definitely nothing wrong with just grabbing the wall. My balance is not as good after I did a full 45-minute strength and conditioning workout. All right, come on out of that. Last one we're gonna do, we're gonna double up here. Come down to one knee. Squeeze that back glute. We're gonna go for a hip flexor, so lean forward a little bit. Keep that glute squeezed though. And at the same time, we're gonna clasp our hands behind our back and do a chest stretch. Couple more seconds here. And we'll switch up. So switch legs. Now we're gonna do just a quick rear delt stretch. So squeeze that glute of that back leg. Give me that hip flexor. Stretch. Reach across the body with the other arm. Just doubling up here. It's the last one we'll do. Keep that glute squeeze. Switch arms. About 15 more seconds here. And then slowly come on out of it. Come on up. And that is it. Thanks so much for staying a couple minutes late to get all that done, y'all.